Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 2C TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C, and we come to you guys with some good news from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Tommy Robinson, the enemy of the state, has now been cleared. I can confirm Tommy Robinson is not a terrorist. What a shock, ladies and gentlemen. He had his magistrates court section earlier on. We had the verdict, and the judge ruled that, in fact, Keir Starmer's police state were unlawfully decided to arrest him and use the counter-terrorism powers against him. But we're going to have Tommy joining me in a minute. And of course, we're going to take your questions as well live. But before we do that, Tommy thanked Elon Musk massively because Elon and his team helped Tommy's when it comes to his legal fees and everything else that happened, but also in terms of the platform on X that he's created. Let me bring on Tommy because I want to actually talk about the mainstream media as well, because some of the media guys were there, but they weren't too happy. Hello, Tommy. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? Is it too dark? Good. Let me just brighten this up a bit. 1 sec.
You're not dark. Stop being racist against yourself. It's fine. Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right. So, well, good day for you. But were you expecting this result, or were you thinking, well, they could go either way because this is the judiciary in the UK? But you did have good lawyers. So, what were your thoughts? And explain to people what was the verdict exactly.
So, during my trial, my King's Counsel on one of the days said they have lost this case on 3 legalities today. Yeah? He said they've lost. But I said, I've been here before. I've been in this position before where we have proven the case unequivocally. We've proven it with evidence, and I've still lost. So I don't take the same confidence that you take. And if I'm honest, I never expected this today. Not the judgment that the judge handed down. He handed down an absolute hammer against the police, against their motivations for the case, against the legalities of the case. Do you know the frustrating thing? So anyone watching this who's watched this play out, Maya, just 18 months ago, I was detained at the anti-Semitism rally. I was handcuffed. I was pepper sprayed at point blank range. I was physically assaulted by the police. Then I was given bail conditions not to enter my capital city. I was unlawful. When we went to court, it cost £53,000. We won the case. The judge then handed down a blistering attack on the police, saying everything they done was unlawful. Nothing changes. I didn't get the £53,000 back. Yeah, so nothing changes. So fast forward to where we are now. We've just had another blistering judgment by a judge saying that the reason the police detained me, which his words, his judgment, is because of who I am and my political beliefs. Now, what that means is that I was targeted by counter-terrorism on behalf of the British state in order to stop me as a journalist to get access to this. Now, and you know, the whole time this happened, Mayor, not one single journalist in the UK spoke up for me. Not one single journalist in the UK, I mean mainstream, you did, Dan Wootton did, the new media did. That's why there's a new media. If the old media want to understand why there's a new media, this is why, you absolute imbeciles. You're not standing on the side of truth, ever. You don't, even when it's in everyone's face and it's such a wrongdoing that the whole country can see it's a wrongdoing, you still double down. You still don't side on the side of press freedom or journalist freedom. So whilst all this was going on, no one supported us from the mainstream. They were all quite happy for it to happen. Even Nigel Farage, I pointed it out today. Nigel was questioned about this because at the time, Reform supporters were saying they wanted him to say something. Instead of having the balls to say something and say this is wrong, they shouldn't be doing this, he just made up that I had a fake passport.
Yeah, I'll put the video on for those who missed it in a second. But yeah, go on.
And you know what? I'll be honest, probably I keep myself busy, and I kept myself busy recently in Israel. And for the last week, I have been stressed about this case because I've been expecting to go back to jail. I've been expecting to be in prison for the next 3 months. That's what I've been expecting. So I come out of court not happy, mate. I'll be honest. I come out of court angry. Angry with the media portrayal Remember, all the mainstream media, I'm going to dissect this tomorrow and do it in a video. All the mainstream media sat in my trial. So they saw exactly what the judge saw, and not one of their media reports anywhere in this case highlighted any of the unlawful wrongdoings by the police. They made all of this about a Bentley. Yeah, what they made it seem like there was some criminality about money. Yeah. The money was never under question. The evidence was given to the police where it come from. The car was not under question. They knew whose car it was. It was a friend's. It was getting transported because he was moving to Spain. There was no question about any of it. Yet the media portrayed this big, oh my God, he's at the border with this much money in this car. No, that wasn't the case. What they should have been concentrating on is the fact that Article 7 of the terrorism legislation was unlawfully and illegally used. And the police accepted that. So I'm still frustrated because the whole time while this played out in court, the media didn't report him. They just didn't report him.
But that's the okay. So speaking of the media, I'm going to show you guys at home. This was the BBC's reaction. Far-right activist Tommy Robinson found not guilty of terror offence after not giving the UK access to phone surveillance. There's no context here. Secondly, obviously when they go around calling everybody, including Tommy, imagine calling Tommy far-right. If these people meet an actual ethno-nationalist, I don't know if they know the difference, by the way. But that's the BBC. You mentioned even, obviously, the mainstream politicians, including Nigel Farage, were going around saying...
Why don't they say the fact? The fact is, the judge ruled that I was targeted and discriminated against because of my beliefs.
But this is the key point. Not just the media, but also the politicians. They've already decided the verdict before the trial. So this is what a leader of a political party said before the trial even finished. Let's go.
No, Tommy Robinson's been right about many things. He's just not the company that I choose to keep. And even after that, we got, Robinson's been arrested using terrorism laws, isn't there? And then we discover, no, actually, he wasn't arrested in London. He was arrested at the port of Dover. And it's something to do with a passport issue. And
passport issue.
Listen, he has had some things very.
So what was that about?
Yeah.
Passport issue.
I was detained under terrorism legislation, which we now know was unlawful and targeted because of my political beliefs. And rather than speak up, you sat there like the coward you are because you didn't want to challenge the establishment. It's the same old story for Nigel. Doesn't want to rock the boat. Don't want to challenge the establishment. Too fearful of challenging. Actually, because when it happens to him or someone in reform, when they get stopped at the border and they get demanded access to their phones, which is unlawful, as has now been proven, but it's only proven because Elon Musk stepped in and helped me with the legal case for this. And do you know what? In each of these cases, the process is the punishment. I've had this hanging over my head for 12 months. I've been arrested. All the media slurs all around the world that I'm a terrorist, that I'm linked to terrorism. All of this has gone everywhere. The damage is done. The damage against me personally is done. The damage and the stress and pressure has already been done. So even when I get a win, I don't feel like I've won anything. What have I won?
Am I correct to say that what we've seen over the last 10, 15 years, 20 years now, the media, they basically, just like what I said about the political leaders like Nigel Farage, they put you on the spotlight. They get you on the headlines before you've been found guilty of something. They basically decide that you are bin Laden. And then when you win, for example, or when they are proved wrong, they don't correct it or they don't apologize. So all people hear is what happened before. What they hear is you've been arrested, you were basically a terrorist. That's all they see, the headlines. They don't really see the BBC or GB News correcting it, right? Is that correct?
It's a weapon. Like I've looked at LBC, I've looked at the BBC, I've looked at Sky News. None of them gave the context today. The ruling was that the police targeted me because of my political beliefs. They discriminated against me. That's nowhere in their headlines. All that's in their headlines was found not guilty. That's all that's in the headlines. No context that the police have abused their power. Say that out loud. Counter-terrorism have actively targeted me because of my political beliefs. Now, that's the story here. Now, we knew that during the trial because we were all taking part in the trial and the police admitted it on the dock. So why did none of the media run that during the trial? They made it all about a car. All about a bloody car. They made the receipt of the car was in the car, £49,000. The gentleman who bought it, they're acting like it was far bigger than it was. The gentleman that bought it, they had all the paperwork there. I was transported. It's ridiculous. They knew that, but again, the police knew all of this before the trial. Now, the big question here is, the Crown Prosecution Service are supposed to be independent. So they had all of this evidence before the trial. So they too, if they would have reviewed it, like the judge did, they'd have found that it was all bullshit. So why was I ever prosecuted? Why was I ever taken to court on terrorism legislation? Why wasn't I let go? Why didn't they decide, the Crown Prosecution Service, why when I was attacked with pepper spray and the Crown Prosecution Service, which are meant to be independent, when they reviewed the evidence, which there was none, why didn't they get rid of the charge? Why did they prosecute me? Because they prosecuted me so the media can pump it to the whole world to make me look like a criminal. Now, the public, what you've seen in the last 18 months, if we take the pepper spraying and the anti-Semitism, take my film Silenced, and take this case, those 3 criminal charges, imagine my last 10 charges, if you would have seen the evidence. Imagine if I'd have had the same backing back then of Elon Musk funding my lawyers back then, all of this, it frustrates me because I'm continually going through this lawfare. I now face, Mayor, my solicitor's saying today, we need to sit down and get ready for your next trial. My next trial's a year away. I need to prepare now for another trial. What for? This next trial's even worse than this one.
Yeah, this is the insanity part of it. And I'll go back to why there are no consequences when they basically are found to have either made a mistake or actually basically stitch you up. So both when it comes to the pepper spray thing, that incident, but also this time, any consequences when the police basically lied. Before we do that, the media, you mentioned a very interesting thing about the fact that they don't really give you the context now. Now that basically you won and you've been cleared, GB News was there, and lovely Dan Wootton, outspoken, of course, had on the ground Lauren Farrow, who went and approached the GB News. Guys, let me just show this video. I'm going to get your reaction on this because you've dealt with the media all your life now, and this just proves everything we've been saying and the reason that my channel exists and what you do every day with your outlet and Dan Wootton. Let's just watch this.
You're live on the #1 independent news channel. Dan Wootton, outspoken. Just wondered why you're here when you
Oh my gosh, running like cowards. Look.
I just wondered, you won't feature Tommy, so why are you covering it? Sorry, you won't feature Ben Habib, Rupert Lowe, or Tommy Robinson. No, but I just want to ask you, why are you censoring people's news? Well, there you have it. More propaganda puppets, Dan. They won't say anything.
And then she goes to the other one.
ITV or GB News?
Oh,
GB News.
Okay, and so you're reporting today. Why won't you feature Tommy Robinson on GB News?
He's not here.
Oh, no, I know, but you don't feature him, Ben Habib or Rupert Lowe?
It's not a decision for me to make. I'm sorry.
Okay, and so are you giving full narrative coverage today?
It's interesting, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you giving full narrative coverage today on Tommy Robinson?
We're covering the court case.
No, but are you giving full narrative, a full breakdown of exactly what was said inside the courtroom?
We're giving the coverage of this.
Okay, well, there we have it.
I do love Lauren. There we have it, as expected. It's bad though. I mean, we laugh, but it could be like ridiculous at times, only because we don't know what else to do. It's just too depressing if you don't laugh. But it's dangerous because if they can do these things to someone like you with a huge platform and a backing of Elon Musk, what could happen and what does happen to all those little people with like the smaller platforms or no platforms, ordinary people who saw what happened last summer? What's going to happen to this country?
I've just watched footage of that young gentleman reporting for GB News, and I was stood behind him. He didn't try an interview. He didn't ask for an interview.
He was saying you weren't there. He said you weren't there.
I've just watched him standing reporting whilst I'm behind him. I've just watched it. So I've just watched it. My thing is, look, it's dangerous when the public believe GB News are the go-to channel for the truth. When even GB News have censorship levels of who censored, why they're censored. Like Rupert Lowe, he used to be on there quite regularly. What was the reason why he was totally cut off? What's the reason? Give the public the reason. Why was he a commentator and then he's not? Why was Ben Habib a commentator and then he's not? I've never been allowed on there. Day one. Do you know I've sat down, Mayor, with a lot of their different presenters, a lot of whom I respect, and they've all asked to have me on the show to give my side of the story. Now, is it a fair journalist channel when you allow people continually to go on and lie about me, but I'm not allowed on to count and give my side of the story? Even like now, when I've been proven as unlawfully targeted by the counter-terrorism police. It's unlawful what they've done. The last 2 of my cases, it's been proven unlawful. Yet I'm continually labelled as a thug or a criminal, because of the weaponisation of the judiciary. And then the mainstream channel, like GB News, who's meant to be the alternative to the mainstream, they're meant to be different. They're meant to be different. But yet they're still, if we look at what happened to anyone who talks about vaccines, anyone who talks about, there's no difference. They still are governed, and there's still certain things you can't talk about, certain people you can't talk to. So it's frustrating. Yeah. I think it's a great clip. Well done, Lauren. I think she's
yeah, she's good. By the way, there are those who make excuses for GB News, but they say, well, it's Ofcom. It's nothing to do with Ofcom, actually. This is about the corporate control, because Ofcom also had Sky News and BBC News, Newsnight, and both of them had you on their channel before. It's not Ofcom. It's the power of the corporate and the advertisers, and of course those who are on the board and the investors. It's those guys are making the decision. That's why we call them corporate media, because they don't have the freedom. As you said, there might be 1 or 2 good presenters on these channels, and they might want to have you or me on there, but they're not allowed to. They're told not to. Tap on the shoulder. So I'm going to get some of your questions in the live chat, by the way. Let me know what you want to ask, Tommy. But what's next now? What do you have planned?
What's next? Well, a meeting with the police about Unite the Kingdom. By the way, anyone who wants one of these, I'm just going to grift. You get them at nationwear.co.uk.
It's in the description, guys.
Unite the Kingdom wristbands, key rings, everything. Unite the Kingdom is Britain's MAGA. You see the last event on September 13th? Wait till the next one. Yeah, but we just need to negotiate the right stuff with the police. I want to release the date. I know the date already. Yeah, I know the date. It's going to have worldwide, global attention. People can say what changes. The mood of the nation has changed. Yeah, other parties can ride that wave. I don't care. We are awakening the public, awakening the population, and uniting them together. And people are, I'd say this country now, we've given inspiration to many around the globe. People are watching Great Britain. Great Britain is going to be the battleground for free speech, the battleground for everything. I'm going over this week to meet with Dominic, Polish MP, for some interviews there to understand what Poland are doing, to meet some groups who are combating the open border immigration or the attempts at immigration into their country. So I've just come back from Israel, but I've got my first meeting tomorrow. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this meeting? With all of my team from Urban Scoop. And this is just a set to finish off episode 6. It's the most important work I need to do is episode 6. But we needed a lot of the groundwork done, a lot of the research done, and we need a lot of surveillance done. So we have our meeting tomorrow, which I'm excited about, because then we're going to have that date, just to hammer everything down, so we can get our work done. But next for me is episode 6 of The Rape of Britain, a quick trip to Poland in between, seeing my kids a little bit, going to go to my mum's in a minute and get some salmon.
Yeah. But as I said, I'll put the link in the description, guys. Go get the merch. If we're doing plugins, obviously, speaking of Poland, we've just also released a new series on 2CTV Plus called Why Poland Works, and it's basically about why Poland is the best in the European Union. And later tonight we're going to cover the New York mayoral elections. Hopefully Mamdani is not going to win, but for that we have. I know, well, it's going to be close. We got 25% discount annual memberships if you use the promo code NYC25. Let me get some reaction. We have some questions from lovely people in the live chat, but first one actually it's a request. Comes from our good friend, Mr. Banana Man, Niak Orbani. There's a campaign apparently, and he wants you to get involved if you have as he says, if you have the balls. Basically, there's a campaign to burn Khamenei's posters and pictures after everything has happened in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Apparently, worldwide, there's a whole campaign now. People are burning the photos. Are you gonna?
Will it wait till I'm with you? Print me off the biggest picture, Nyack, when I'm with you this week. Yeah?
We have the biggest picture, yes.
Full-size picture of the scumbag. I'll happily burn it.
Absolutely. All right, so let me just see what you lovely humans are saying. Tony says, our brother is free and so he should be. Oh, Tommy Robbins. Tommy, I wrote to you in prison. Never did that before. I marked the envelope, political prisoner. Really pleased for you today. How many letters did you get? Thousands?
I got 20,000 birthday cards in one day. 20,000. I'm not joking. 20,000 birthday cards. So do you know, like remember, each one of these things, each one of these attacks is meant to demoralise us. Yeah, we're winning. Okay, momentum is with us, not them. We're rising. Look at your channel. I'm looking now, 1.2 million. Like I remember that's gone quick because it was just under 1 million recently, wasn't it? So I've gone up 60,000 followers this week on YouTube. Now that I'm back on YouTube, using YouTube, mine still ain't monetized. Can't monetize it, but I'm back on YouTube. I think I've just looked. I'm number 47 rank in the world on X. We're winning. Future belongs to us. Momentum's with us. We're not stopping. And any one of these attacks and these court cases are meant to demoralise us. It just gives us big wind. It lets you, the public, see what they're doing. It lets you see the injustice. The British public don't like injustice. Yep. They can see it. They don't like bullying either. And it's an attempt by the state to continually bully us and silence us. The problem that the state don't realise, which I keep thinking, just wake the fuck up and look at it. It doesn't work. You're not going to stop. It don't work. Yeah. You're not actually. It's not going to work. You just actually ignite us even more. You put more fire in our belly. You frustrate us. So desperate. Before going around.
They're desperate. Yeah, no. Anyway, Tommy, tell the rabbi for everything. You are the one spark of hope for me in my life. Your courage and honesty against all odds is inspiring. Could we expect you two together in Israel for amazing content? So you did so much in Israel. Wait, how long were you there? For 2 weeks or more than 2 weeks? Because it felt like you were there for 6 months.
Mate, we done 60 videos in 10 days.
How did you survive? How did you survive?
Great content, and I think it was Israel's a beautiful country. Do you know what? For me, because there's so much hatred against Israel, so much hatred against Jews, and most people who hate Israel have never been there. And most of the people, I'm looking at what's coming out of the American right. I'm thinking, well, none of you lot know what it's like to grow up around Islam. You have no idea what they're like. You have no idea what any of these organisations or these countries are like. So you're making your perception based on growing up in a totally non-Muslim, with no Muslims. So I understand what they're like. I understand how aggressive they are. I understand the hostility. So I know what Israel feels like, surrounded by 23 totalitarian Sharia-driven shitholes with no human rights, who want to wipe them off the face of the planet. But so many of these people, just like now, they've just arrested a planned ISIS attack with machine guns. It's like, who are you going to blame for that? It's like, wake up. You're siding with Hamas. You're siding with Iran. What the hell is going on? I'm watching it all. I'm watching it all. And I found it interesting to go there. I don't know, did you watch the mass migrant problem that's there? I went into South Tel Aviv, interviewed Jews who are being replaced. And do you know what? I spoke to government ministers and said, if we didn't build the wall, they built a wall, then the Sudanese, Eritrean, there would be no Israel now if we didn't build the wall. Yeah? If we didn't build the wall, and that's what we need to do. We need to protect our country. So, I had a great time. And Maya, do you want to go? Would you go?
We're going back, because we have to. We are about to release our Israel documentary, October 7th documentary that we did a few months ago. We're gonna do we want to do a premiere both in London and in Israel. So I'll keep you posted. We're gonna have to go back in a couple of months. That'll be good. Tony says, 2C, you will always be the real media. You always speak the truth, brother. Usually when I'm drunk, but and Rona says, yes, Tommy, love you. And okay, I want to see if there are any questions. 1.2 million. All right, so let's. There we go. Sue says, do you think the judge decided so strongly because the eyes of the world and Elon Musk are watching? Will other people get this result?
I think certainly that the eyes of the world has helped. Certainly Ezra Levant travelling and reporting so the public could read everything that happened in the trial, which means the public already knew that they'd acted unlawfully. If it wasn't for Ezra being there, then none of the mainstream media reported any of the facts from the case. So the judge could have handed down a verdict and no one would have known any different. But I think that certainly the new media, the citizen journalists, all of them that attended court, make it difficult for them. And I have to recognise the judge as being totally upstanding. I have to recognise that because I criticise the judiciary a lot. I criticise judges a lot. He has restored some. He He could have even sat on the fence with some things. But in his verdict, he slammed them. He absolutely slammed them. Because he's probably sitting thinking, how dare this come to my court? How dare you totally unlawfully target someone just because of their political beliefs? And not just target them with, you're not talking about a criminal damage charge. You're talking about terrorism. Like, wait, what the hell? You're talking about trying to make me a convicted terrorist. That's what you tried to do. You tried to make me a convicted terrorist based on nothing, based on your unlawful prejudice of my political opinions. And the hanging point for them was they didn't even put into evidence our interview. So, they had to interview me for 3-4 hours. In court, They didn't even put into evidence because there was not one question about anything to do with terrorism. Every single question was about my legal, lawful activities as a journalist. So that's why they couldn't put it in court, because that would prove the reason why I was targeted, which we now know, which the judge knew anyway, was because of my political belief and my work as a journalist. That's why I was targeted by the British state. So
it's insanity. The Patriotic Christian says, Tommy, please talk with me about baptizing at the next United Kingdom. What you mean baptizing?
I'm gutted I didn't get baptized in Jordan, in the Jordan River, in Israel. I'm gutted, to be honest. I'm gutted.
Someone who got baptized when you were in Israel? Someone got baptized in your group. Who was it?
Liam Tufts, but he didn't get baptized as a Christian. He get baptized. He admitted. He said it's nothing. It wasn't him getting baptized as a Christian. He just wanted to experience what it was like, and as he was there, and it is part of the experience.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah, cool.
I do wish I did, but then I thought, the Welsh priest who speaks at our events?
Yeah.
I thought if I was getting baptised, I want him to baptise me.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's great. Yeah. Jonathan says, thank you, Tommy, for what you do for this country. Peace, brother. Deep heat spray, ladies. Stay safe. We were gonna myself and our good friend Stefan Thompson from Visegrad, we came up with the idea of selling branded pepper sprays. Then we realized we can't sell it here. We can sell it in other countries, but not in the UK. We'll get arrested.
No joke.
It's like selling drugs. Self-defense is illegal in the UK.
You're not allowed to defend yourself. No, we
It's
can't
so
have
bad.
any of those pesky rapists getting hurt.
So embarrassing. Anyway, Sheila says, Tommy, I met you a few times in the Huntley Suite. Oh, that sounds sexy. I'm so glad you didn't take my advice. God bless you. Do you remember that? What is that?
Let me make sense of that.
Sheila?
Must be a prison officer.
Ah, well, you put your name. That's not safe.
Probably to stop, I'm guessing.
Right. I thought the Huntley Suite was a hotel.
No, the Huntley Suite is a suite that was built in Huntley at Belmarsh Prison.
Oh, that makes sense. Fair enough. Vanda says, I hope you enjoy your chocolate and Percy Pigs. What is the obsession with the Percy Pigs?
I love it. You know what? I've started clean today. So I've come out of there, I've gone to the gym, and I'm back on now a healthy regime because I've been in the bad regime. And then
Yes.
So I'm about to go get salmon cooked by my mother.
Brilliant. I'm guessing they didn't have Percy Pigs in Israel, right? No Percy Pigs.
Do you know what? Anyone from Israel, sort your crisps out. They're pathetic.
I know. So bad.
Really problem. They all banged on about these crisps that they said were the best. Wait till you have these crisps. They're a bag of nothing. It was a bag of nothing.
It's bad.
It's bad. Oh, it's a bag of nothing. Yeah. I appreciate British crisps. We're the best.
That's true. Yeah, superior. Someone said you don't ship to Norway. It's not working. Can't ship to my address. Oh, this is their merch. Your merch.
No, we're just sorting out now. It's only on Britain at the minute. We are going to sort out all the merchandise to be shipped abroad in the next week. But at the minute, it's just Britain. And they've got mega hats. They've got UTK hats. We've got key rings, wristbands, all the different T-shirts. But we just need to get ready now for the next event, man. I'm excited about the next event because I know how big it's going to be. I also know the planning that went into the last one, which we need. So I want to have another event before the next event, which will be the screening of episode 6, which I just need to get finished.
Yeah, I know you said that obviously you have a meeting with the police to sort out the date, so you can't tell us what date you have in mind. Can you tell us roughly what season are we talking about? Summertime, before summer?
Yeah. It'll be, because you know what they'll do? We'll see.
Oh,
give me a week.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, that, yeah. You don't want to, yeah, we don't want them to cock block.
Block everything before we get agreed.
All right, no worries. That's fine. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Tommy. As we said, we put the link in the description for you guys to check it out. And later tonight, and by later tonight, I mean 2 p.m. UK time, or I think 9 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live with the full coverage of the New York City elections, New York elections, mayoral elections. Hopefully, Mamdani somehow gets stopped. But yeah, no, it's not looking good. Anyway, thank you so much.
Wake up call. Maybe America needs that wake up call. Because they're asleep, man. America must look at Europe, look at Britain, and look at Islam and think, stop, just stop it. But yet, no, it's still growing. They must just look at our countries. Just look. Just stop it. You have to stop it. No bullshit. Just stop Islam. Cool.
On that note, thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.